by either team. So just going to be a pickup for Fuquan. Feels like he can get a lot of value out of that Crescent Guard and try to make an early play. But it's actually Cerberus making the early play.
Ronno P just jumps over the wall. Howdy pudding. And it is first blood for Dragthar and Cerberus.
I don't necessarily know if Cerberus actually expected someone to be there, but they found Pudding. They found him right there. They found him there, and we're all close enough behind Ronno P to instantly convert. That's going to be first blood. I didn't actually see who it went to, but Dragthar. Not ideal, but hey, a nice early extra longsword perhaps for the jungle.
That's why, guys, as we've got a bit of a freeze, this is why you always
they spot him on the sweeper.
Start.
Yeah, they spot him on the sweeper, so they know to go in, and yep, they collapse the level 1 sweeper. No one sees it coming.
See, that's the kind of thing that, you know, when I play with my amateur teammates in, you know, gold plat leagues, I scream at my teammates, like, why wasn't someone there to watch for the potential invade? Cerberus, though, now have a kill. Dragthar as well has the gold, and we know Dragthar likes to get himself involved early on, especially when he looks towards his bottom side to get some gold towards Artemis.
Yeah, just going to find that bot side push. Both teams looking down there makes a lot of sense. That's how we've seen this game sort of played out. Early shove will go for the side of Team Flash based off that range advantage. But now early level 2 range advantage going to come through. But there's not a lot they can really get done. No scoreboards, so we're not actually seeing if there's any real advantages we can see arise. But Fuquan spotted. He's going to try and make a play onto this red buff, but because he was seen, Dragthar's got the jump.
And don't forget, Dragthar's a bit of extra gold from his first kill, doing a lot of damage onto Fuquan. He's going to be forced to flash over the wall. Yado coming over as well. Good belly block from Jane, and they get the kill. The turnaround onto Dragthar. Yado pulls one back, and now it's a 1-for-1 in the river. Yado backing away, even though Ronno P is hovering around.
Okay, so that is actually a benefit. That, all in all, it's a kill trade for both mid laners, but it's a blue buff given to Jane and a red buff given to Yado, so this is a victory for Jane. Gets to just throw as many barrels as he can. Once Yado backs and has full health, maybe he can turn it around with just the auto attack trades, but yeah, we saw here, Fook, he was spotted. He just gets to get jumped on by Dragthar, but the commit from as they move out of the jungle, it looks good because Ronno P is roaming first, but it's Jane who just commits the flash around to really set it up, and it's a lot of flashes blown, kills traded. Ooh, maybe Yoshino can find something. Might be a
also
bit
as well,
hard
in that trade in the mid lane, I think Jane had just about enough mana to actually cast the belly slam, because once it was cast, I think there was literally no mana left for the Gragas. So very, very close, but a 1-for-1 in the river. And we're now seeing Dragthar just hovering around this bottom side, looking for a potential play of Sora and Pudding get a bit too angsty.
Yeah, now this time around, if the junglers clash again, it should be Dragthar with the red buff, and that'll benefit him a little bit more in the fight. So, yes, my stream's a little bit laggy on my end.
Oh dear.
But we are doing okay. We're seeing just a trade of Scupper Crabs, do not want to aggress too much. On the spot side though, yeah, it's just Flash who have had complete control, and with that sort of concession of bot side by Cerberus, they're gonna crash this huge wave and feel really comfortable with it.
I guess we're fighting over Raptors. Yoshino is making his way up. He's not the jungler, but he's
Yoshino got it!
He's the cure, the big chicken. Dragthar on the run. He's going to get some movement speed over this Scuttle Crab. His income Pun, but Dragthar has already fallen. Now Yado joining into the fray. Jane is very low. Pun looking for the kill. Will surely be able to get a one more snip. In it comes. But now Fuquan is making his way into the play. It's another 2v2, and Yoshino will get the kill. 1-for-1 once again in the river.
Yeah, honestly, just huge heads up from Yoshino to just walk down towards the Raptors and pass off the invasion while Fook was clearing his Krugs. So the mistiming on the smite meant that all that was for a whole lot of nothing, because Yoshino got the big chicken. Drakthar had to chase down, as we see here. Yeah, just doesn't quite have the damage on the smite. Yoshino picks that up, and Yado decides to back off, but because of that, the call to follow up from Pun means Yado's just a little bit too late to it. They do eventually get Jane, but with that passive, with that damage reduction, he stays alive a lot longer than they intended. Fook comes in, and more kills going to Flash, just trading up each time.
I do want to talk a little bit more about this bottom lane, though, Marby, and we kind of talked about it before, putting the student going up against the former master of Artemis. When I see a Zyrakan lane, I do think, okay, this is a very strong 2v2, but it is going the way of putting in Sora. So is this a matchup thing that Felius and Renata just a lot stronger than Zyrakan early, or is this putting in Sora playing exceptionally well?
It's a little bit of both. Zyrakan definitely has the potential to do a lot of damage and get a lot of all-in threat for sure, but in just standard passive laning, if there's no angle for the Rakan to really find a good grand entrance on or something like that, then yeah, it should passively go towards the double range lane, and here's a good engage.
Grand entrance onto Sora will chunk the Renata down to half health. The Ignite used as well, but Team Flash are making their way down towards the bottom lane. Yado is in close tow, but no real engage from Team Flash, and Cerberus will just back away, as will Yado.
Yeah, a couple of summoners blown, traded out for the jungler's Flash. Okay,
Rono P just takes so much damage. The explosive cast absolutely explodes the support to complete smithereens. Team Flash with their 4th kill of the game, and now they're making their way over to the Infernal Drake.
Luckily for Cerberus, it got traded back on the top side. Pun being able to solo kill Yoshino under his own tower. It will trade up for the side of Flash though, as the dragon is taken, but at least they're getting something back across the map.
And we'll have a quick look at what happened in the top lane. And Pun just pulls Yoshino completely under his tower, and Yoshino loses against the top lane tower. Something's happening as well in the bottom lane. Bailout putting alive, but not alive for long enough to get a kill onto Artemis. And Cerberus will find a kill. This time it goes over to the Rakan.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was saying. If you can find the engage, Cerberus can the Zyrakan can crush the 2v2. As Yoshino has been Drakthar's worst enemy in the jungle. Should be able to find that away.
This time Drakthar does get the eye, now trying to escape, but there is no escaping Scary Scissors Lady. And now Yoshino gets his 2nd kill, fights all around the map, Marby.
Yeah, Yoshino is doing a better job of counter-tracking and counter-jungling than Fook is at the moment, because he is always there. Put in just a little bit caught out of position. Renata does their best, gives them the bailout, but they can't trade back onto the Xayah, so in the end, it's a good catch of punishing a put-in, staying over long.
I just realized that Jane is now 3-1 on the Gragas. Yado has been able to pick himself up a few kills, but the gold overall is relatively even. Kills dead even 5-5. What is your cat doing to you, Marby?
He's been sleeping all day, and now that I actually have to do something, he wants to expend all his energy at once. as his typical feline behavior. But all in all, what we are seeing is the solo lanes, the top side of Team Flash, have been able to react pretty effectively to Cerberus's plays, try and win out in these engagements, and they've gotten themselves a pretty sizable advantage up there. Unfortunately, it's sort of being traded out on the other side, or the side of Cerberus, as a couple of kills onto Puddin. It's not doing not really having his best showing right now.
Putting 0 and 2 at the moment, does have a healthy lead over Artemis, who also hasn't been able to pick up any kills. So we are seeing Fook 1 had just weaseled his way into the top side bushes, but no opportunity for a gank or a counter gank, so he's going to reset and start making his way down towards the bottom side. Rift Herald is in the pockets of Drakthar. He could look to make a play towards his bottom side because both Drakthar and Yardo are making their way down. There is a wave at the ready, Realm Warp at Yardo's disposal as well. They could just look to get a few plates with the Rift Herald, or maybe they'll just peace out here with the Blast Cone.
Yeah, Jane's cutting that off pretty quickly. It wasn't the biggest wave either, so pretty easily dispatched with that. Oh, hold on, put it. Step too far forward.
Once again, stepping too far forward, and Sora's not around, and Sora just holds his hands up saying, I can't do anything here. Cerberus now using this opportunity to drop the Rift Herald down in the mid lane. Yoshino now showing up. They're looking for Drakthar, and once again, the Cerberus jungler will be killed.
Yeah, good flash from Yardo stops him from dying alongside him, but the damage is done. They push away Yardo from the plates. He can't get... I don't think he gets the gold there. They pick up another kill, and Drakthar has just been hunted down time and time again. All three of those kills from Yoshino are onto this jungler. He has had the time of his life just taking down this monkey. And Sora... He's doing his best, but it feels like every time he steps away, putting steps up into the engage range of Rakan. And it's not what you want to see, and now that Yoshino's sort of getting some items and levels under his belt, it's getting even harder for Pun, despite that first solo kill, to stay in lane and contest this Gwen.
In fairness, we have seen some very good Cassandre performances this year so far. I'm trying to remember who in particular has been very, very effective at the champion. I want to say he was Enper, or is it Kiai?
Pun and Nagia are the two that spring to mind. Pun's had some really good ones. Nagia has had some fantastic ones. And of course, we never actually got Thor Giga Broken Cassandre. So this was all on the post-nerf Cassandre, which is even more impressive, honestly. So now Drakthar trying to, once again, playing through Artemis, trying to make sure he can get as much plate gold as possible, trying to give this carry a lead, because if they get to a late game team fight, you can pretty consistently rely on Artemis to put in the hurt. He's going to be under a lot of pressure with the Gragas and the Xin Zhao, but he should be able to keep himself pretty safe with Featherstorm, so they know where their bread is buttered, and they are making sure it's buttered well.
Oh, now I want to have some toast. Now that I just think of butter. Well, butter goes with a lot of things. Jacket potatoes.
Are you allowed to have toast?
Not right
now.
now.
Toast goes against your brand. All right. I also forgot about Ramadan. My bad. Your brand is cereal. Cereal is the only breakfast you're allowed. For breakfast, certainly.
I mean, technically, isn't wheat a form of cereal? So toast does count, as we have an engage in the river. Good disengage, though, coming through from Drakthar. Just able to hop his way out. Artemis on the other side of this fight, but there's not much Hazaya can do on her own. In the top lane, Pun with another solo kill. Pun V9 angle coming in for the side of Cerberus.
That was a close one. I think a bit of tower help coming through for Pun is... Now we're back onto this dragon. Drakthar looking for the angle to steal. Yardo has kind of given up.
Oh, big engage with a grand entrance. Hostile takeover is denied as Artemis goes into Featherstorm. Godlike mode. Two members of Team Flash will fall. And Cerberus looking towards Jane, but no route for Yardo to be able to lock the Gragas in play. Just a nice play from Cerberus.
All right, let's see what happens here. I think, Yoshino gets knocked back and the full combo comes in, so a bit of tower giving up that extra bit of health. A narrow win for Pun there. Just a smidgen more damage would have done a lot as...
Oh, explosive cask under tower. The Realm Warp won't take Yardo out to safety, and Jane says, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that was a strange Realm Warp decision, because you're just going to stand there taking tower shots if you're in it. I think you were definitely better off just to try and walk out of the tower. Anyway, that's a good pick from Jane. Definitely punishing Yardo's overstep and lack of flash. But the big victory we have to talk about is the dragon. Absolutely beautiful play coming out from the bot lane of Cerberus and trying to carry the rest of this team. Now, Curry, now we have another Rift Herald being started. Cerberus isn't in a great position to respond, but yeah, they don't necessarily feel comfortable on the side of Flash, so they're even calling in Jane to grab this one.
Well, I mean that Team Flash are able to secure the Rift Herald. Cerberus will back away, and Artemis, courtesy of that play, now 3-0 on Desire. A big influx of gold going towards the Cerberus AD carry.
Yeah, being able to pick up that double kill, getting closer and closer to those quick blades, and when those are online, the single target damage should be insane. Pun still trying to put as much pressure down onto Yoshino as possible. And as Yoshino gets closer and closer towards that next item,
Drakthar here as well. Has a Cyclone available. A lot of CC onto the Gwen, and nothing Yoshino can do as Cerberus pick up their 10th kill of the game. Now up towards the top side. No Rift Herald available for them. That was secured by Team Flash, but this will still be a tower secured for Cerberus and their second tower of the game.
Yeah, I wish to apologize for Pun for an early statement. I made it sound like Artemis and Ronopi were kind of dragging the rest of the team as corpses, but no, Pun's found 2 solo kills. He sets up another great kill for Drakthar there, and that is even more gold going over to the side of Cerberus. They picked themselves up 4,000 gold, roughly, and they in the lead. Not 4,000 gold off that play, I know what I'm saying. But now with this Rift Herald push, and with these guns, this should be a lot of map control provided to the side of Team Flash. Not really much of an answer, as catching K'Sante and Wukong on a reset. It's just a nice play coming out from Team Flash.
Good use of tempo from the side of Team Flash. A tower will fall. Some gold going into Pudding, who is 0-4. And I want to say it's not been reflective of Pudding's performance, but there have been a couple of bad oversteps from the Team Flash ADC that has given, at the very least, 2 kills over to the side of Cerberus, and his 3rd death coming through. It was the first blood, I believe, at Blue Buff.
Yeah, you can sort of take one of those kills off as a sort of reflection of how he's been performing. One of those, because one of them was a bit of a cheese invade. The other ones got caught out in a team fight, well played by Cerberus, and the other 2 are just huge, missteps away from his team, and being caught out by, I mean, great reactions, great recognition by Ronopi to convert on it. But now
Cerberus?
Ronopi can link with Drakthar and start running the jungle and starve Fook out of this game.
Fook being forced away from his Gromp. That will be secured by the side of Cerberus, who are just trying to gain as much control as they can in the bottom side jungle of Team Flash. We have a Drake up in less than a minute's time, and that is what Cerberus are setting up for. Yado currently in the top lane does have a teleport available. Team Flash looking to collapse in the mid lane. Artemis rooted down. Fook trying to collapse on top. Very nice blade caller, and Cerberus on the retreat. Team Flash won't be able to get on top of any members from Cerberus.
Yeah, Team Flash looked very unsure of what was going on there. They found the route onto Artemis, and then the collapse was so terribly slow from the rest of Flash that, Artemis just walks away. Doesn't have to blow anything. Few ultimates expended and the ghost from Yoshino, but not much else. So they should be in okay, but it does mean that with this Dragon Spawn, they aren't really in a spot to contest. Luckily for them, it's also Chemtech, so it doesn't actually matter.
Wow. I remember
Good.
I remember when Chemtech first came out. What a disgusting decision that was.
Yeah, they kind of overcorrected on this one.
I think someone needs to make a list of like the most broken things to ever exist in League, and one of those would most certainly be that Chemtech Drake.
13.5 Yumi. Release
I think
Yumi.
many Yumis.
Many iterations of Cassidon. Yeah, there's been a lot of pretty firm misses in this game over the 13-year career. But it's all okay for now. Nothing too overpowered in this game, except maybe Xayah, you could say.
Is it Zaya or is it
Oh no, is
Artemis? Who knows? As we have duking happening in the bottom lane. This time there is no tower to keep Pun alive. There are teleports coming in from both
He
teams.
still
Pun
wins!
gets the 1 kill. That is a 1v1 kill. Pun will take the honors. Jane shows up and makes it a 1-for-1 overall though.
The Omnivamp from the All Out is enough. Just too many shields for Yoshino to cut through. Going for this Shadow, the Demonic Embrace over something like the Shadow Flame. And I feel like that might have bit him. Now the Force of Nature is complete. Eventually Yoshino will outscale, but I think we're going to have to wait for another item before he really runs the side
With
lanes.
two members from both teams going down to the bottom side, this is
Oh.
given an angle now for Baron, secured by Artemis of all people. Cerberus get the Baron onto 4 members. And how did Fuqua not steal that? He actually hasn't used his smite. Drakthar, I don't think had a smite available.
No, I feel he must have used it in that play, just that short cooldown with the second stack, with the 2 stacks of the summoner spell. But man, just Boot jumped in, couldn't quite get it to get it down through the burst of the blade call and the smite. So really close. Really damn close. Much closer than it should have been, but Cerberus do walk away with the Baron. They walk away with an extra kill on top. And the safe hands are all Drakthar needs to be relevant in this game. Now, maybe a pick. Nope, Fook will escape. He's fine. Quick disengage.
I think it's also worth mentioning as well for that Baron play. I think Cerberus just said, look, we'd rather have a Blade Caller than a Smite because Blade Caller does more damage. I think if you have enough feathers down as Artemis, looking for Jane, gets a good lockdown turn from a Pun, pulling the Gragas out of his tower, and the bailout will not keep Jane alive. Very, very good play from Cerberus.
Yeah, they don't quite have... It clears the wave, so they can't quite push in and get this tower, but Yados prepped this one earlier. He's going to take down this mid-inner. And now with this being sort of pulled apart, and okay, the minion aggro has betrayed Yado a little bit, but it's fine. The next wave has arrived, and bot lane towers will start to fall.
And this is the issue when you're 1 member down. Fook using the ultimate to pull a Pun under tower. Artemis will cleanse the hostile takeover as in comes a Realm Orb from Yado, looking towards Yoshino, but he's just sitting very pretty inside the Hallowed Mist. And Cerberus will back away, not being able to get either of the inhibitor towers.
Yeah, not quite gonna bust open that inhibitor tower, but they don't lose anyone either. So Orno Flash are doing okay. They're pretty happy with that outcome, but it's still very low, and there's still a bit of time left on this Baron, so they can definitely double back down and reattempt to break that tower. Jane is doing his best to clear out the wave as much as he can, so that with that wave denied, that should be the end of any attempt to get the towers, but good barrel
Jane
to avoid
is
play call, but
on
he's
the
still out
wrong
of
side of the
position.
map right now. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got 4 members of Cerberus coming for him. Will be able to teleport back to his next tower, fight in the top lane, as that Pun is being caught out by 3 members of Team Flash. You might be a Cassandra, you might be strong, but surely you don't find a way to outplay this. Gets a good knock up onto Fuqua, putting though
He has
on the
so
chase.
many
What is
dashes.
the movement speed of a Pun's Cassandra? This is ridiculous. Team Flash somehow have enough sticking power and will eventually get the kill, putting actually his first kill of the game.
Yeah, the Ghost and the dashes were doing a lot, but that's 3 members in the top side of the map, so that opens up this tower. They're gonna try and kill Yoshino, but with that tower still sort of sticking around, they can't commit fully. So Yoshino gets away.
I thought the Hallowed Mist by Yoshino was used a little bit too early, and I thought it was going to time out and he was going to get absolutely popped, but it stayed around for a while, enough to keep him alive. Not enough, though, to keep their inhibitor tower alive, and Cerberus now make their ritualistic way down from the bottom lane to the Drake.
Yeah, gonna quickly pick that up. Just a little bit more tenacity, a little bit more slow resist. trying to remember what Chemtech actually gives. I know it gives
I think
tenacity.
it gives more
but
damage, or Chemtech Soul gives you more damage when you're...
Yeah, that's the
I
soul.
can't remember.
Soul gives you damage down, gives you more damage dealt and less damage taken. Healing and shield power, that's the one.
I mean,
so
that's pretty good for Pun. Let's be real.
That's gonna be nice for Pun. That's gonna be nice for Ron for sure. Hell, even Draktar's gonna get even Draktar and Yama are gonna get a little bit out of it. Hell, everyone's gonna get a little bit out of it. It's just nice to have. And now Baron is coming up in a minute. It's the only real thing to fight for. And Flash are trying to work their way into the area, set up any vision, but Cerberus showed themselves, and Flash has to sort of back away and be extremely careful. The engage range is huge from Ron, and if they get the combo of the quickness into the Cyclone, it can be a mess for the side of Flash.
So I want to take a kind of bigger view at the team fight that we're about to see. What can Team Flash do to get back into this game? Because they are 8,000 gold behind, but surely with Yoshino, they have enough tools at their disposal to be able to win a fight if they can get the right angle off.
Yeah, what they really need to do is try and blow Artemis's something early, because he has 3 very big defensive tools. And with all 3, it should be nearly impossible to get on top of him and take him down. And that is a lot of damage for the side of Cerberus. And even then, if you commit everything and get through the Cleanse, the Flash, the Featherstorm, the Bloodthirster Shield, and the Gale Force and the Bloodthirster Shield, and still kill Artemis, you've probably not got anything left to deal with Yado, who will still put out a fair amount of damage. Doesn't quite have that Rabadons in hand, but should be just fine to clean up a team fight if you've committed everything onto the bird. So
Sora just used Shirelia's Reverie to get from mid lane to, I don't know, to walk past Raptors very briefly. Cerberus now have started the Baron Nashor, and when it comes to target access onto Artemis, you have to look towards Jane, that explosive cask. Things are difficult for Team Flash, and right now they are buying Cerberus's bait, who have reset the Baron, and once again looking to start it up as Twinning makes his way to the mid lane to catch a wave, and Jane has been forced to reset because there's a huge wave crashing in from the bottom lane. So Cerberus taking their time, waiting for everything to come their way. Yoshino locked down, taking a lot of damage from Yado. Now engage coming through from Ron OP to stop Team Flash from having any way at stealing the Baron Nashor, putting us to be careful. He's locked down and taken down. Pun picking up the kill, and Team Flash will lose 1 member.
Yeah, okay, Fook didn't have Flash. That wasn't a really good angle for him to get in, but yeah, couldn't get over the wall, couldn't impact the Baron at all, despite the hostile takeover. And then a good flash from Yado. Oh, this is it. Just gonna end the game, isn't it?
I think it might very well be. 2 inhibitors now down there looking towards Fook. One down will go the jungler. 1 more going the way of Team Flash. Artemis steps too far forward, but Yado is still alive. Still has plenty of damage, but Yoshino is big on this Gwen with the needlework. If all the members of Cerberus group together, which is what they did, flash forward, land a handshake on it to Yado. Is there enough damage from Yoshino? Jane goes golden, and down goes Yoshino. No more damage for the side of Team Flash as Jane makes their way out to safety. Cerberus have been forced away, and Team Flash will keep their base just about in shape.
Huge cask from Jane actually picks out Artemis, and with that, they can't quite end the game there and then. They still have Baron. They can quickly reset and push in a big wave in, well, 2 big super minion waves if they sync them properly. That should be too much for Flash to handle. Now the Rabadon's death cap is complete for Yado. Now he's putting out a lot more hurt, and a Guardian Angel from Artemis means that shouldn't happen again. Everything's getting a little bit closer, and things feel like they're slipping away from Team Flash. If Yoshino can get that death cap in together, maybe he has enough damage to carry a fight, but we see Puddin's down 2 items. We see some parity in Team Flash, item parity in numbers, but not in effectiveness. Azonia's is by no means the same gold value as the Rabadon's death cap. And yeah, Pun's a tanky fella. Draktar is tanky enough to deal with Puddin. The magic might be a bit rough for him, but They are going to pick up a Dragon Soul, and that means it's going to be even harder to cut through Cerberus in extended fights if they get down below half.
When we talk about Artemis's defensive tools, as you mentioned, that Guardian Angel picked up, so he's now up to, 5 defensive tools? 6 or 7 if you're including the Bloodthirster and the Blade Caller, so very, very difficult for Team Flash now to find a kill onto Artemis.
Flash is still down, so they still have the opportunity. Cerberus have not really been able to manage their waves particularly well and get the good angle towards those Nexus towers, but maybe now, as they overcommit to save their last inhibitor, there is the angle. Realm Warp coming in.
Realm Warp with 1 minion, Artemis and Yardo into the base. Just having a little bit of fun, maybe. Cerberus
and now they don't have Baron.
And now they don't have a Baron. There is another wave, though, crashing in on the top side, and Cerberus want to do this nice and slow, nice and cleanly. They don't want to take any risk. Yoshino, though, will be able to clear out this wave and force Cerberus away. Cerberus are just being a little bit passive right now, just making sure they don't make any huge missteps. Maybe they're just waiting for that flash to come up for Artemis.
And possibly Cleanse is now available. So that's one more tool of safety back for the Xayah. I think they're just sort of waiting for trying to get these waves to crash at an appropriate time. They want this tower because that's the easiest objective without the
teleport coming in. Down goes the tower. Ron OP looks for the engage with the quickness. Finds 2 members. Hostile takeover has been used. Fuquan knocking people away, but Artemis is just a free firing right now. Down goes Yoshino looking towards Fuquan as well, who oversteps. 3 members alive for Team Flash. Cerberus will win the fight 2 for 1, but guys, the inhibitor. Big MVP cannon minion.
Okay, that was so close to Yoshino getting that bailout from Pun. Pun getting away very narrowly. Yardo's going to teleport back in.
Draxtar's been taken down very low, charging forward, trying to get the kill onto Draxtar as quickly as possible. Draxtar goes golden. It's a bailout in time. No, it is not. Draxtar will end up getting the kill. The Nexus is laid bare. It is exposed. Jane will go golden, will die as soon as he comes out of stasis, and Cerberus will take game 1 against Team Flash.
And the one person Wukong is actually tanky against is the Aphelios, so unfortunate there. And really